when you're first starting, I want you to use your eyes intently, very, very focused. Get your right hand on your nose, and then I want you to catch the first punch. Once that is stopped, look, I can look around. I have a great view. I can see, oh, there's a right hand coming. Boom, I can catch it. Boom, I see the right hand's coming. Now I can slip that one. Boom, because I'm already in the sensor. So boom, boom, right, I can load right here. I can, from the sensor, slip right over, come up the sensor because he threw a right hand.
Now moon mountains, if he wants them out of the way, as he wants it so.
All right, so head movement. I want to go over just a concept that I have about head movement. It has to do with the three lines of our center line, right? But also there's three levels to your head. So this is going to help you a lot. This is going to help you understand, where you are and how to change your position, whether it needs to be a big change or a small change, right? So let's start with the three lines. We have our center line right here, okay? And then we have our left and our right line, right? So if I put my head over here, I still have, if I bend my knees and I give my fighting stance and everything, I still have balance here. If I go outside that line, see, I'm already tipping over. That's out of balance. We don't want that, right? So we're staying on balance, and I go over here to my right line, right? I'm still on balance. My head is on top of my knees. I'm actually loading my knees. So when you move your head, I want you to also understand that your feet control your head, okay? You don't want to go like this, obviously, and going like this. You see, this is all waist movement. And you can get away from some stuff like this, but I want you to stay forward, right? So if I move my head side to side, watch my posture here. Look, if I get my fighting stance, there's a guy in front of me, pom, pom, pom. He throws a punch right here, he throws a jab. I slip. I didn't go backwards, right? Backwards is not as advantageous, right? So if I come here to the side, boom, I'm still close to the target so I can counter him. I still have balance so I can decide to step. I still have balance so I can decide to pivot or roll and start to work on some of the stuff that we're gonna talk about today, which is changing the levels as well as the line, right? So let's call these different head slots, okay? Different head slots. And I don't just mean left and right, I also mean up and down. So it's like a grid. That's like a grid. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here in the center, and then 7, 8, 9 down low, right? When you're squatting like Mike Tyson, okay? So if I'm standing all the way up, I can be at like the number 2, but maybe when you bend your knees, you're closer to like number 5, right? And then like maybe I'll stand up 2, I'll slip 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, right? But maybe they throw a hook and it's kind of high up. So if they throw a high up hook, it's up towards my temple. I don't need to go all the way down to like, what's that, 7, right? I can come down to 5 and then I can, come to 6 over here and 4, 6, 4. That's a big change, right? 2 numbers, that's a big change. You're changing from the right to the left, but you can also just change from 5 to 6, right? Back to the sensor, boom, boom. That is a change. So for example, if someone's throwing, watch this, I'm gonna throw this at the camera. So if I throw a 1, 2, 1, 2, that hit the same number, right? That if we call it number 5, if I put this on the screen somehow with my editing skills, right? I hit the same spot, boom, boom. But a lot of people will follow you. So when you move your head over here, bump, they attack this angle, boom. Now, if I attack here and you move your head back to the center, you're still not getting hit. You're not getting hit there, okay? You could, especially with the size of the gloves, depending. So just keep that in mind. It depends on how far they aimed in that angle and all that stuff. But just keep in mind, you want to make minuscule movements when it comes to head movement. Okay, small moves. Because the smaller the movement, the faster you can counter. I say this all the time. If you make a miss by a mile or you make a miss by an inch, what's the difference? They still missed, right? But there's a huge difference. If I make him miss by a mile, I gotta run a mile just to hit him back. Okay, so let's take that away and make him miss by an inch. Bam! He can counter right back. So anyway, we have our head slots, right? 1, 2, 3, and you don't have to memorize these. I don't care. Just remember that you have level changes and you could say orientation or side, changes, left and right and center, and you have up, center, and down, right? So now, once we get to, so far, I've only been moving my head in straight lines. Even when I dodged the hook, right, in the earlier example, the first example, I just came straight down to 5. But like, let's say I'm in my rhythm, I'm moving back and forth, I'm up here in 2, I come to like 4, 6, 2, 5, 6, 4, whatever. I don't want to memorize the numbers. I'm just trying to call them out for you so you understand what I'm doing when I'm moving, right? So let's just say I'm moving, right? And I go over here and he throws a hook over here, or even a straight right. A straight right, it's actually better to go ahead and roll a straight right, because if I go like this, look how long it takes. I have to cross the center, which they're probably attacking on, and then I have to come over to the side. Whereas I can go down to 9, 8, and 7 and roll up to 6, right? Boom, right? That's a roll. Same thing, don't lean back. Using my legs, bend my knees, boom, right? I'm rolling, I went from 6 to 9, 8, 7, and 5. 4, but up to 4. From 6, 9, 8, 7, 4, right? So that's how you can sweep your head over here. And then look, I can just come to 5 real quick, because maybe they throw like a straight right here, or right there, all right? And then I can duck even lower if they throw another hook. Instead of rolling, I can just duck straight down to boom, right down to 8. And then there's one more thing here. One more thing that we're missing. We got our top to bottom, we got our left to right, but there's one more element. It's only two parts to it, really. It could be 3, we could say 3, but I don't want to get too complicated. But now we're going to talk from front to back movement, which is a pull. A pull is like here, right? I'm going to go like this. Boom. Right? And if you notice, you see my foot is moving. I'm not going like this. This is an unathletic position, as told by several other trainers. This it's not gonna. You might get away from a punch, but you don't have much you're gonna follow up with, right? You go here, boom. You don't really have a counter, so I don't like that one. I like this, boom, because now, or boom, all right, the classic Floyd Mayweather pull counter that he's supposedly made up. Everybody knows that people have been doing that for years and years, eons and eons, okay? A pull counter is not a complicated move. None of these moves are complicated. Everything is simple, okay? You just have to practice everything and have a system for understanding everything so that we know these techniques, okay? So let's go. I started at the end. I kind of started at the complicated part because I wanted to show you the grid, right? The grid, right? Up to down, left and right. And now you can also, from here, I can pull, boom, right? You can go front to back. And you can lean forward, that's the third plane, so 1, 2, 3. But I don't want to get into that one today. That's a little too advanced, right? So I'm here, and I just want you to relax and try to just change where your head is all the time, and mix in your catches. Boom, boom. I don't want to move here. I want to stay in 5. Boom. And then I see, oh, he's persistent. He's going to attack this side again. Okay, then I'll go under. Made a miss. Pop, pop, counter and pivot. Right, change my position. All of that. Now, you can practice this all day, right? Slip, slip, duck, pull, right? Roll, roll, head turn, right? Head turn. You can do shoulder roll. You can do, the short slips, the small ones instead of doing the big ones. You can stand up. That sometimes gets, like if someone's throwing a downward punch, and you just stand up. Sometimes that gets out of the way. Practice these head movements, that's great. But how do you put it together? How do you use it in a fight? Number one, use your eyes. Use your eyes. And the way that you use your eyes is, first of all, how I like to do it is you need to understand that people don't just throw a one punch generally. And if they do, and it's a big punch, then you see it coming. I have faith in your reflexes. But if they're setting up a combination, if they're doing something, they're setting up a punch, a specific punch, they're probably throwing a combination. So they're gonna start with a jab, a double jab even, then a big right hand, right, coming around here, but they're really distracting you to hit you with a body shot. Boom, right? Okay, so let's take that. The jab, after the jab, you don't know what they're gonna do. And if you let them throw the jab, you can't see. If you let them blind you, you can't see. If you can't see, unless you got the radar, unless you know exactly what their intention is, where you just can close your eyes and like, I already know 1-2's coming. So bomb, get out the way, boom, there's the hook coming right behind it. You know, once you get a certain amount of experience, you can do that. But when you're first starting, I want you to use your eyes intently, very, very focused, okay? And keep your hand, get your right hand on your nose, and then I want you to catch the first punch so that you can see. Catch the first punch. Don't parry it. Don't throw it away. Just relax. Keep your hand right here next to your face. Catch the first punch. Right? Once that is stopped, look, I can look around. I have a great view. I can see, oh, there's a right hand coming. Boom, I can catch it. But if I'm super smart and I have good timing and I have their timing, then boom, I see the right hand's coming. Now I can slip that one. Boom, because I'm already in the center. So boom, boom, right, load right here. Catch. Now I can, from the center, slip right over, come up the center, because he threw a right hand. I can come up and hit him with uppercut, whatever it is. You can, boom, slip, but what if you see the hook coming? Roll to these different all these different head slots, all these different positions, and it all comes from seeing what's going on. Okay, so vision and timing, of course, and then coordination and the technical ability. So I started at the end. I started with the technique, the technical ability of changing all the different head slots, right? Different ways, boom, boom, boom. Just practice here, boom, boom, look in the mirror, boom, set up your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you want. You can put them on a little grid or write it on the mirror even, right? Boom, 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 and then start mixing in your catches. The reason that you catch is so that you can still see, right? Because we need vision, okay? And also, you want to get their timing. So the reason that you catch, other than your vision, is to start to catch their timing. So a lot of times when I come out in a fight, I'll come out in sparring or whatever it is, I'll come out and I'll put a high guard up, a closed guard rather, right? I'll come here and see what they do. And if they jab, I'll catch it, cool. And then I'll do it again. Oh, I got their timing now. Now I see the speed. Or I'll just counter if I'm faster than them. Yeah, it depends on their timing. It all depends on them. All depends on them. That's pretty much it. All I wanted to go over in terms of head movement and understanding head movement. But that different head slots, that's a big one. That's a big one, because people tend to think of head movement as just slip, slip, roll, roll, maybe pull, right? But it's a lot more than that. It's like these micro movements, like slipping here, right? And then slipping down to 9 right here, boom, right? It's a different move. It gets away from different punches. You can slip and then roll and stand up, right? And then into a pull, like, it's so much more complex when you start to look at it that way, but then it also becomes simple, right? And the simplicity is in this. When something is about to happen to you, change where you are. Just change. Beat from 9 to 4 to 6 to whatever number, just change the goddamn number, please. Okay? and then you just kind of go from there. So just change position, use your eyes, and catch your timing. Use your hands to be able to catch your timing, and use your eyes so that you can dodge more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So happy training.